and welcome to Cryptology for You, the channel that's not even about cryptology at all, but all about cryptocurrency. I'm your host, Paulie D, and today we're going to try to answer that one big question that always gets asked. When will the coin that I just invested in moon? Well, it's not really as simple as all that, is it? You need to invest in a coin that's going to moon, but how do you find a coin that could be a moon shiner? Well, hopefully through this episode you're going to get to learn the fundamental analysis and technical analysis, and stick around because you might get to see a good way that you can choose a coin that could be that mooner. Despite everything in here being totally logical and pretty much in your best interest, that still is not financial advice. There is nothing in here that is financial advice at all. It's all educational, maybe a little bit of entertainment, probably a lot. The first thing you probably do when you get the idea you want to invest in a coin is you do a little bit of research. But what does that research even look like? Well, I like to start off with the fundamentals, the fundamental analysis of the coin. And I also like to look at the technicals. Now, I prefer to start with the fundamentals and then go to the technicals. You might go the other way around, but stick around because we have a special guest to show you exactly what the technical analysis could look like. Well, firstly, I guess we've got to find a coin. Look, to do this fairly, I'm going to go 100% random. I'm going to pick a lower end coin, somewhere between the 500th market cap and the 1500th market cap. And I'll let the computer choose a random coin completely out of the air so that I don't have any emotional attachment to it. So computer, pick me a coin between 500 and 1500 in the market cap range. And go! 1070. Okay, let's take a look and see what coin we have just chosen if we look at the 1070th coin market cap value. To do this, I head over to Coinmarket Cap and I'll put a link in the description below, and that link allows you to get free diamonds, digital diamonds, that could get you free NFTs. At CoinMarketCap, there are some 10,000 different coins listed, and we're looking for the 1070th highest market cap on CoinMarketCap.com. Scroll along to the 11th page because that will be where the 1070th coin is. It's 100 coins per page on the web version. And let's see what have we found here. Let's take a look. 1070. Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay, I've just happened to pick Pawn Rocket. Okay, well, that's a little weird, but let's look at it anyway, because we're trying to avoid any emotion, and so we're going to look at a random coin, and I literally let the computer choose a totally random number, and here we are with Pawn Rocket. Oh, this is going to be an interesting research. Well, let's just see what we can find out about this Pawn Rocket. It has a cute emblem. Yeah, very peachy. Well, let's just check out its price. Obviously, this should be the first port of call. Let's just see how much one Pawn Rocket costs. Oh, it's rather cheap. There are a few zeros there. In fact, I think this is going to be like 7 nanocents for one Pawn Rocket. Okay, it is very cheap coin. But don't let the price fool you. There are very cheap coins out there that are massive in market cap. I mean, take this one for instance. You recognize this one? This is Shiba Inu. Now, this is a pretty cheap looking coin, but it is also a massive market cap. So cheap coin doesn't necessarily mean crap coin, although it is still quite possibly a crap coin. Shiba Inu is the 14th highest market cap coin on Earth currently. Being cheap doesn't mean you have a small market cap. Now I'll go more into that very soon. Let's take another little look there at our pawn rocket and its all-time high. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into this all-time high. I'm going to let the technical analysis expert go over that for you. But you can see the chart, and you should probably at Coinmarket Cap go to all, and so you can go all the way back. Now, I did notice a few things here with Coinmarket Cap that their all-time high didn't represent what was on this actual graph. So just be wary and look at that data. Let's take a look at the market cap of Pawn Rocket. Now, the market cap here is just slightly under $3 million. Well, what does that really mean? Well, the market cap is the total value of the cryptocurrency. If all of the coins were completely sold right now at the current price, this is how much it's worth, $2.8 million. Well, let's compare that to maybe Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu's market cap is $5,489,000,000. So if you sold all of the Shiba Inu right now, you would get $5.489 billion. That's pretty intensive. But just because Pawn Rocket's market cap is slightly lower than Shiba Inu's doesn't mean it can't go up in value. I mean, let's take a look at a few possibilities. Here is Pawn Rocket's price again. Well, what happens if Pawn Rocket's price just went up, let's say, 10 times? Well, there you go, 10 times up. Well, where does this put it in market cap now? Remember, market cap is the price of the coin multiplied by the amount of the coin in circulation, and that will give us the market cap. So the market cap has gone up 10 times. Our market cap was originally 2.8 million, so now it would be 28 million. If Pawn Rocket were to gain 10 times value right now from the time we started looking at it, we would be sitting up there in the 483rd spot or thereabouts, up there with BitShares, which is another coin I coincidentally had not heard much about. But you can see here, BitShares is about 28.5 million, and 10 times on Pawn Rocket would take us up to 28.2 million. So give or take, it's about the 483rd spot by market cap. Well, let's clear that and see what would happen if Pawn Rocket could go up, let's say, 100 times. So our market cap originally was 2.8 million. Well, now it would be $281.9 million. All of the coins at 100 times the value they are now, that's a big ask. That would suggest that people are willing to put in $282 million into Pawn Rocket. Is this logical and likely to happen? Where does this put Pawn Rocket then at 282 million? Well, it's putting it up into the 220th spot on Coinmarket Cap. That's going to put it around about where Threshold currently is. Coincidentally, still another coin I knew very little about. But a real mooner isn't just 10 times or 100 times. Nope. It's at least 1,000 times, isn't it? That's what you're really looking for, the 1,000 time gainer. Well, what would Pawn Rocket look like if it was able to gain 1,000 times? Well, it's getting up in the price now, and our 2.8 million market cap current would become 2.8 billion. Woof! That is some market cap. So where would that put it on coinmarketcap.com? It would put it at the 22nd highest spot, where Chainlink currently is. You have to ask yourself, is this possible? Is Pawn Rocket likely to go 1,000 times and end up in the 22nd spot in the entire range of all coins at coinmarketcap.com? Well, I'm not convinced right from now, but I haven't done a lot of research yet. I've only looked at the price. So perhaps there is a little bit of room for improvement for our Pawn Rocket. Some might even say there's some room to grow. Well, what about this fully diluted market cap? What does that mean? A fully diluted market cap? Well, this is at coinmarketcap.com. You can push on these little I buttons and you can read, and here it is. This is what would happen if the entire supply was in circulation right now at the current price. well, we'd end up with $7.2 million worth. The only problem with this and Coinmarket Cap is they don't often have the right numbers of the max supply. Well, let's take a look at that right now. Yeah, this max supply is massive. It's a huge maximum supply, and currently Coinmarket Cap is suggesting only 39% of it's out there. I will let our technical analysis expert deal with this later on, but right from now, if you saw this, this would be something that you should be a little bit worried about. The main problem that you've got is if there is still 60% of the coin to come, this is going to dilute the market. If you have more supply, it's going to make the coin a lot cheaper. So the coin that you're currently holding on could devalue. Sometimes you'll find the developers are holding on to the coin for special purposes, and you'll need to read about that. I'll show you where you can look for that later on. Let's take a look at the volume now. So the volume over the last 24 hours when I did this video was down considerably, which isn't really a lot of volume. It's only $3,264. Now the volume indicates both in and out. It's just the amount of trading. In this case, because volume was going down and so was the price, more of it was probably going out. At Coinmarket Cap, there are quite a lot of other things you can look at. You're not just stuck with looking at prices and charts. There are some other pretty cool fundamentals that you should be looking at. In this case, let's take a look at the actual website of Coinrocket. Now, I was careful. I made sure there was nothing explicit here. Sorry. So here's the website. It's pretty innocuous. There's not much to it, but there are things that you should be looking at. I dropped down where it says company there on the top right, and well, this is what I see. There is plenty of information there that would be important for your fundamental analysis. Now, one of those things which you can't go past, well, you need to look at that white paper. The white paper is the most important and most valuable bit of information you can get. Now, the white paper is written by the actual developers, but it still gives you very good insight on how professional the developers are and what their actual ideas for the coin is. Click on the white paper, download it, and read it. Now, I'm not going to do that all for you right now for Coinrocket, but let's just take a look at what a white paper could look like. And there are plenty of things to read, and I'm always interested down here in the tokenomics to know exactly how this token is going to become valuable for me. Now again, our technical analysis expert coming very soon is going to cover that in a bit more detail, but let's just take a look at this section. The first thing I noticed when I got to the section was it was mixed up. It said in the contents that part 0.8 was the ecosystem, which is 0.9 here, and also it said 0.9 was the tokenomics, and it's 0.8 here. This is a pretty minor thing. I don't think this would solve any issues on to whether or not you should buy the coin, but this is a slightly overlooked professionalism. Now, I think you should look for a white paper that is fully professional and has some good reading and background in it. Little mistakes like this do tend to put me off, but don't let it put you off. Look at the tokenomics and see what it's saying. The thing that comes to my light is this part here about the 500 trillion Coinrocket tokens, and that lot got burnt. Is that a bad thing? Well, after the launch, 500 trillion Coinrocket tokens were completely burnt and taken off the market. Now remember, if you fully dilute the market, it gets cheaper. Well, this is the opposite of diluting. This is taking coins out of supply. I took a little bit more to see what the Coinrocket coin was actually going to do for me, and it's going to provide direct synergies for users of the Coinrocket ecosystem with sex toy stores, adult venues and clubs, and other adult web pages, becoming the reference currency of the adult industry. Well, that's a pretty big ask because the adult industry is huge. But that also could be its advantage. But is it really? You have to be able to market this in order to make it worthwhile. I read through the white paper and I still wasn't overly convinced that their background was really going to make me a lot of money. But the coin did have a use case. It just wasn't a very strong one, but it did have a use case. Well, going back to their site and looking at their company profile, I noticed one other thing that was super important. You should check this. This is Ascertic Audit. Now, Ascertic Audit isn't cheap, and you wouldn't do it if you weren't going to stick in the market. So this is actually a big plus for PawnRocket. Let's check out the Ascertic Audit and just see what it says. Well, it probably isn't that great either. There are a couple of things there like centralization. Now, centralization would suggest that perhaps the devs own too much of the coin, and this is probably gonna be more of a controlling aspect. You don't really want a centralized coin. You want to be involved in a decentralized coin where no one is controlling the price anywhere near as much. There's a lot more to this as well, but you can see some of this on the technical analysis or download their PDF. At the time of the audit, there are still several unresolved issues. Some of them aren't really important, and some are. So this would be a few red flags in my mind, again, against trying to buy PawnRocket in order to get rich. Well, let's skip over now and introduce you to Anorak. Now, Anorak is one of the key supporters of Cryptology for You, and you can find Anorak at our Discord server and putting charts up every single day without fail. It's amazing work. Now, Anorak is here. Let us take a look at the technical analysis of PawnRocket.
Well, hi Paulie D, and thanks for this interesting coin you come up with today. PawnRocket. I guess you want to know whether it's going to the moon or it's going down. Well, anyway, I shall try and take it serious and have a look at the way I do with other coins, or tokens in this case. As you can see here, I've circled this section on the top here, around here, which is a token, which means it's going to run on somebody else's chain. So if it was a coin written in that top corner, it would be running on its own coin, which would make the project probably a lot better in my eyes. But unfortunately, this is a token, but I won't give up hope yet with it. Let's have a look. Right, the next part I look at is, what market is this coin on? Well, it doesn't seem to be on many. L-Bank, PancakeSwap, Bitmart and Hotbit. Not the biggest of exchanges, to be honest with you, out there, so not too promising on that side. The next thing, let's have a look at the overall chart here now then. Well, it's not looking good, Paul. It's not. It started off in July 2021, had a massive pump, we should say, and it just didn't keep on pumping. And the problem is, if something doesn't keep on pumping, you're not going to get that happy ending we're all looking for. Yes, it's whittled off, and unfortunately it seems to be, it's not going to have any happy endings on this one, I'm afraid. Let's have another look. Let's try and keep some up. 5 trillion. Well, okay, they burnt off quite a lot there. There's just nothing here showing me that this is ever going to be a big project, I'm afraid. So what's my conclusion? Yep, you got it. It's not the best of coins, and this one, I don't think it's going to be going to the moon. There's going to be no happy endings on this. It should be, yeah, put down the toilet, mate. Sorry. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed, and I'll hand you back to Paulie. Thank you.
Well, okay, I kind of expected that. Thank you so much for that report, Anorak. It was absolutely amazing. Really look forward to some more reports from you coming up for other coins. Thank you for that. Let's take a look at some more fundamentals. And one of the most important fundamentals that I've got right now is who is running PawnRocket. Are they anyone we know? Are they going to make us some money? Well, the founders They're not revealing their identities at all. They're not so keen on coming forward. And this to me is a bit of a red flag, and you can take it however you like. I understand why they want to be private, but I also think somehow this isn't a good sign. Well, despite that, they do make a little comeback. Here we have Ruben Copper, who is an entrepreneur with a substantial background in startups guidance and understands blockchain, and also is the strategic advisor for PawnRocket. So this is someone who has a name, who has come forward, and you can do some more research on Ruben quite easily. One of the things I really enjoy is getting involved in their communities. Exactly, you get into their community and you see how many people are involved in that community, how many people are actively participating, and what the community is even offering. In this case, the community only took us to one place. It took us to the Twitter account of PawnRocket, and that was it. There was nothing more to see except for whatever that is. Well, that's interesting. Anyhow, this is their Twitter account, and you're welcome to follow their Twitter account if this was something you were going to look into. However, when you're following an account called PawnRocket, this does start to remove the anonymity that the coin was trying to produce in the first place. So I find this is a little bit of a backward step here, especially when they were going for anonymity as part of their white paper review. But you're not just stuck with Twitter, because see over here you've got chat as well, and the chat took me to a Telegram group. Can't be better than any sort of Telegram group. I love a good Telegram group. So off I go and visit their Telegram and scroll through a few of their messages. Now, this is something you should probably do yourself, but check, they have 21,000 members in there, but I wasn't so convinced they were all active or even human. Well, let's just take a quick summary look at what you should be doing for a fundamental analysis. Well, the first thing is you want to find a purpose. Now, with PawnRocket, I found a purpose, but I wasn't convinced that the purpose was going to make me money. The second thing, the white paper. Download the white paper and read it thoroughly. You're investing a coin into your future, so you should probably know what the future is going to hold. You should also check the roadmap with that and make sure that the coin is up with that roadmap currently. As Anorak pointed out, there aren't that many places to buy PawnRocket. In fact, it was pretty scant, and I would be rather inclined to avoid where you couldn't buy from at least one major exchange. You want to know who the devs are, but in this case the developers kept themselves rather secretive, a big red flag in my mind. You really want to check out their socials, how active they are in their own socials, and are there humans in their socials, not just bots. And don't forget to look at the tokenomics and the technical analysis. Anorak did a perfect job there, and it's something that you're going to need to take a look at yourself. Of course, that isn't just it. There is a lot of research to do, and I'm sorry, but there is no easy way to say it. If you want to make a moonshiner, you're gonna have to look at the research and see that it is a coin that is likely to be actively moving forwards. If you have a developing team that are just sitting back doing nothing, the coin won't move. However, despite that, be sensible. If you're looking for mooners, it shouldn't be much of your investment strategy, maybe even less than 5% of your strategy. You should also follow the biggest rule of all, is as soon as you invest in any coin or token, you should have kissed that money long goodbye, because you may never see it again. And this is very possible, especially with these long shots. This is why you only use a small amount of your strategy as a long shot. Now, of course, you're welcome to come into our Telegram, Discord, or Facebook groups, and Anorak and myself will be there in order to chat about any sorts of research that you are doing, and maybe even look at some of the coins you're interested in. I'm going to put plenty of links in the description below. You should check some of these links out. They are there for you to get some bonuses. And this could include the $25 Nexo bonus that you will get if you deposit $100 of any coin that they hold at Nexo and you keep it there for 30 days. You'll get $25 of Bitcoin totally for yours, totally for free. I'm also tweeting a little right now, so join me on Twitter and let's tweet away. Also, why not subscribe to the channel? Look, subscribing is easy. Push the little alarm button and you'll know when the next video is coming. You can like and share this because your friends probably want to know how to do a fundamental analysis and technical analysis, because this is the way you do research. Look, I've been your host Paulie D, and I certainly hope you get some good research out there.